Hi everyone, today I'm going to be doing a review on these palm reading cards. Now I will say they're super affordable, so if you've been looking into sort of getting something like a book or some cards in regards to palm reading, I would say that these are super affordable, and I have flicked through them as well, and I'll give you my opinion on what I think about these as well, so stay tuned for that. So these come from Waterstones, that's where I got them from. I'm sure you can get them from other places as well. This is just the information. Hold on a second. What information can I actually give you? Usually they have the publisher, and that information so that you can, buy them from other places. This is what the box looks like. Just for those of you that are wondering, it says palm reading cards on each of the sides, and then on the back it says this. So they were $4.99, which is a pretty good price, I'm not going to lie, for what you're getting. So inside, it's a two-piece box, really beautiful actually. It's like got the constellations on it. It's got the palm as well on it as well. So you just open it up and you've got all of the cards here as well. Now you could get all of this information in a book. I'm not gonna lie to you, okay? You could get it in a book and it might be a lot more easier to digest, because when you've got cards, it's one of those things that's a little bit more difficult to understand. It's not like, okay, you can just use these cards and just like pick one up and read it and see what it says for you. It's very different. Like, you have to sort of understand the cards in that sense, because this one says here left hand dominance. It's not like, okay, pick a card and that's what you are, because if I just pick this, it would be like, well, actually I'm right hand dominant, so what with these cards, essentially what you kind of have to do is go through the cards and see what resonates with you and sort of pull those cards and then read from them. So for example, it goes through the shapes of your fingers. So it goes through, like, do you have thick fingers, smooth fingers, long fingers? Like, for example, I have really long fingers, so I'd probably take this card out. Are they squared and pointed? And I would probably say no, mine are a little bit more rounder, so smooth fingers, right? So basically you would take out the ones I think that really match you, and then you would start to sort of read those particular cards. At least that's what I feel you would do with these cards, right? Because you can't just like pick any and then be like, oh yeah, that's me, because they're very specific. So yeah, that's what it was saying. So I would, go in there and just sort of pick the ones that are me. So for example, finger shape, thin. But yeah, I have very thin fingers. Knobbly knuckles. I mean, do I? I don't really think I have knobbly knuckles, to be honest. So that's what you do, like short fingers, gaps between fingers. So you would look at, like, there are gaps. I kind of do have gaps, in all honesty. That's very interesting. I don't have short fingers. Then you can look at, fingerprints as well. So it also talks about fingernails. Like, do you have wide fingernails? Are they rigid? No. Large? No. Horizontally rigid? Oh, mine are vertically rigid. So that's the kind of thing that I really believe that you would do with these particular cards, as you would, essentially go through them and pick the ones that are you, and then you would read in accordance. So what you've got in there is lots of interesting information. You've got things about fingertips, all right? You've got fingernails. You've also got, whether you've got smooth fingers, long fingers, and then it also goes, of course, into fingernails. You've also got here, it talks about different planets, right? So it says, the Jupiter finger, and it goes in Saturn finger, for example, if it's long or short. So that's what we've got here, essentially, right? So you can go in and sort of pick which one it is. So, the Jupiter finger, if you have an average one, you would take that card out. Again, you've got some more information on fingerprints as well. And then, yeah, so we go through all of that. So you go through all of the fingers, and then got a cardboard piece there, and then you've got here all of the lines, right? So this is the bit that I think a lot of people are really interested in, is what the lines on their hands mean. So again, you would go through this and you would pick the ones that really essentially make sense to your hand, or to your client's hands, and or your family's hands, so yeah, that's what we see. So for example, it says right hand dominance. Also take the card out. as well. So yeah, this is essentially, I believe, how it essentially works, and this is how you would then do it. So the thing is, right, again, as I mentioned, this is an interesting way of doing it in many ways. I think that it's quite interesting because, you know, you could have someone in front of you and then you could just pull the right cards and it has an explanation specifically for them. Or you could get a book that explains all of this in one place rather than you having to go through a bunch of cards. It's really your own preference, but I would say for £5 you've got a lot of information here, you've got a lot of cards. It's an interesting way of doing it, in all honesty. So yeah, that's essentially what we have. This is it. This is it. This is literally what it is like, and it's very, very interesting indeed. And then it also has a card here in regards to giving a reading. So I'll go through this as well because I think it could be quite interesting. It says here a palm reading is a very intimate experience, and it's important to make someone comfortable. When you read someone's palms, you're peering into their character as well as their past, present, and future. You don't know what secrets you can find on the palm, and people can worry about a negative prediction such as death. Always stress the fact that the hand can and will change, and the future is up to you. You have the power to create the future you want. So it's essentially, you know, what we've got right there. And yeah, so it also talks about sort of hand sizes as well, and which hand to read. So, you know, the left hand usually represents your private side, showing your hopes and your dreams, and then the right side, the right hand, is very much so how you present yourself to others and how you interact with the outside world on a day-to-day basis. So left is more internal and more so the private side, and then the right hand side is more so the external side. So I thought that was quite interesting as well. So you've definitely got some cards here of information as well. So that's literally what we have. Ta-da! So yeah, this is the palm reading cards, as you can literally see. Ta-da! I would say that these are worth it if you are new to palm reading and you want information like this and you want to read for others, for example. It's pretty simple. All you have to do is go in and pick out the cards that resemble the other person and essentially give them a reading, you know, in that sense. And yeah, it can be very, very interesting as well. So it's literally what we've got. You know, if you, for example, you know, if I was to have a client send me a picture of their palm, I could do a reading based on these cards. You know, I can pick the right cards out and then do them a literal reading. So it's quite interesting, actually, isn't it? So that's what we've got there. Ta-da! So these are the palm reading cards. So let me know in the comment section below your thoughts in regards to these particular cards, what you think about them, energies, messages, all that good stuff. Take care, stay safe, you know, as always. And yeah, do let me know down below. All right, bye everyone.